a new life, a new mission reborn, with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love reborn. I'm like an ice skater dancing out for the first time on the form solid ice. No more fears, no sorrows, because I love the coming tomorrows. This life has barely begun, but now I know what I wanna do. I know what I wanna be, reborn. Finally feeling I am fulfilling my destiny, with a heart filled of gratefulness, happiness, joy, overflowing of kindness and love. Oh, so much love. I feel like love is the supportive pillar in my soul, and it only grows each day. I'm reborn in love.
Hello, hello, hello. So, of course, I'm starting the channel and the dogs go banana cakes and they like, Mom, there's somebody outside. They were sleeping so peacefully. So, greetings and salutations, everybody. Holy banana cakes. I'm telling you. Happy Thursday. Happy May 29th. We are fast approaching the end of the month. And wow. And I am grateful for all of you who are here today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the replay crew and those of you that are coming after. So I'm going to take a breath a second because I had to chase them outside the house. So if you don't have your water, grab some. Victor, I hope that you got some cleanup done. So I know what that's like after a storm. It's been a while, but I know. So, a couple of things I want to talk about today. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Teresa. This is my channel, Wounds to Wisdom. And our main topic is going to be finishing up the Let Them Theory. I know it's backwards for you guys, by Mel Robbins. So we're gonna summarize this and put her to bed. And I have included in the chat, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description, her channel. She has great interviews, very inspirational, informative, and I think that definitely all of us could benefit from some of those pearls of wisdom that are out there. I'll do probably next week, I'll put out a couple of books that I would like to talk about, see if anybody has any interest. And I'm going to do this a little differently this time. So we'll talk about that when it's appropriate. The other thing, so every month, I've been talking about the 12 universal laws of the universe. And this past month, May, we were focusing in on the fifth universal law, which is known as the law of inspired action. And just real quickly, the principle is really talking about the importance of us taking actions that are in line with our thoughts and our desires, and it tag teams with all the other laws that we've talked about. And it does talk about our manifesting and the attractions as being powerful, but we really do need to take steps, intentional steps to achieving our goals. And for me, when we talk about these laws, the first thing that has been sort of on the utmost of my mind is being more healthy, healthful, healing, health, both physical, spiritual, emotional, energetic, internal, getting all, the gunk out of the system. And so, this is the beginning of my journey. There is no end to this healthfulness journey for me. So my intention, it's to lose weight so I feel lighter, I feel better, but it's also to eat better so I feel more energetic. And I say that having had a really lovely lunch today with my cousin. And it was a little bit weighty, even though it was a salad. Anyway, this law also, it's about being in harmony, in sync with what are your goals, what are your aspirations, what are your desires, not just waiting for things to happen. We do have to take steps, i.e., we have YouTube channels here. You can't just show up and think, oh, everybody's going to find me. You have to engage in topics. Obviously, that means something to you. But then as we move forward, how do we engage those conversations and how do we make them interesting for people that may find us? One of the things Josh from Mr. Floyd's Universe was talking about and has been talking about as he talks about gratefulness. And I started talking about that the other day when I was introducing you guys to Lee Harris. It's putting out into the universe. Well, so I had a thought and it just vacated my brain there for a second. So hopefully it'll come back. But when we talk about gratefulness, when we talk about intentions, when we talk about being appreciative and thankful, what's helpful, and this ties into the fifth law of the universe, is to almost act as if it's already here. You've already achieved it. Thank you. Thank you. I am grateful for the pain in my arm being healed. I am grateful and thankful for my health and well-being that I am receiving today. So even if you don't feel it, even if you're feeling, and that's a technical term, feel free to steal it and use it. It's important that we put out there that appreciation that we have it. And when we ask the universe, whether it's your faith in God, whether it's faith in Source, Father Sky, Mother Gaia, there's so many other lovely spirits and entities and divine lights that whomever you reach out to say, hey, I'd really like an abundance in my bank account. Okay, abundance could be $50 and you're thinking 500,000, right? So it's having that conversation about, oh, Cramel, hi, welcome. It's really about being specific, but then asking for what you want. And then also assuming you already have it. Thank you for a full bank account for me to pay my bills this month. Thank you for the roof over my head that has been repaired. Thank you for, whatever it is, a car that's driving me from location to location that works, that I don't have to be concerned about. You may not have it today, but you will have it. I am grateful for the sun in the sky, even though it's beyond the clouds, that's heating the earth and growing my vegetables. The intention is we really want to connect, right, with the result. If you want love, you have to be specific about the love. Is it just love of companionship? Is it a romantic love? Is it a familial love? Is it friendship and community? What is it? And it's very, and this is me, by the way. So, in the past, I'd be like, I really just want to feel loved. Well, by whom? Not by everybody in the whole entire universe, or do I? How do I, you can put it out there into the universe. I've been told 1,000 times, ask your guides, ask your angels for what you want. Well, some days I'm there, I don't know what I want. Yes, I do. I want to feel balanced in my own self, in my own desires, in my own creations in this YouTube world. I want to feel and be successful with my gardening and produce food for myself and people around me. So there's things that if we're more specific, when we receive, it's going to be, oh my God, I asked and I received. As opposed to putting out, geez, I really hope somebody loves me someday. Well, then you could have a little old 94-year-old neighbor up the street who loves me and loves my dogs. She just died on Sunday. And was that the love I was asking for? No. So you have to be specific. And her spirit and her joy in my presence, but mainly in my puppy's presence, brought her love and light. It brought her a little bit of peace. So, it's when we think about these things, when we think about what our purpose is, what we want our purpose to be, I'm still ironing out, how do I get a job? What kind of work do I want to do? Do I want to open a Reiki practice? Do I want to open a hypnosis practice? Do I want to do some kind of energy healing therapeutic practice? Do I really want to make a go of it through YouTube as an official source of income at some point? There's a lot of work to do if that's what I want to make happen. I don't have 20,000 followers. I don't have 1,000 followers. I don't have 200 followers. And that was never my initial goal. One of the things that was initial for me was to build community and not to feel so alone as I was walking through this thing called life. And I had shared today that, I want to think about, I guess I'm just going to say, sometimes our biological family isn't the family we choose, right? It's what we inherited. If what we're looking for is a family connection, a familial connection, sometimes we have to build it. We have to make it. I've been creating my tribe of people that are like-minded, but not sycophants, not people that are just going to yes me. Oh, yeah, you're right. I want people to challenge my way of thinking. Doesn't mean that we're not on the same path and we don't want to be awakened and in light and raise our vibrations. This is a very tumultuous time. If you listen to Dolores Cannon, if you listen to Pam Gregory, if you listen to any of these fantastic healers, practitioners, astrologers, tarot readers, anybody who is tapped into this presence of energy, this unity consciousness, as Victor would say, Um, we're trying to raise our vibration and be in love. Our spirits are to be in love. That doesn't mean everything. We're going to sing kumbaya and everybody's going to be, holding hands and drinking the same Kool-Aid. That would get boring very quickly. Diversity is what makes us lovable and loved and appreciated. That's what makes our world with food so exciting. Whether you're somebody, it always makes me laugh when I hear people are sort of, I don't know if racist is the right term for this conversation, but when you are judging another culture being less than, but you're eating the food, you're wearing the clothes, you love the language, you love the music. I just feel like that's a duh moment. Feel free to use that word too. I don't understand. What makes someone less? That does not make sense to me. It never has and it never will. If you love Asian food, and there's a million iterations, right, of Asian food. You have Southeast Asia, you have the Filipino food culture that's also wrapped up in that. There's so many different kinds of foods, language, tunes, music, joy. Yes, I did say awakened. What great timing, my dear friend Misha. Um, so it really is. This is a time of us embracing each other and our uniqueness. It doesn't mean that we all have to sing kumbaya. My aunt Erica um, met my uncle when he was in World War II and he was in Germany. Um, she came back into an Italian family that my impression, the Italian part of us thought we were far superior in our food. That woman could cook and make you cry and weep if her food was so delicious. My Auntie Erica, oh my word, it gave me such an appreciation for German food that when I went to visit a friend of mine, oh my God, has it been 2 decades? She lived in Amsterdam. We took a train to Germany. And I think I cried because her food prepared me for the richness of German food. Um, I have had some French food. I have had other cultures, Mexican food. Indian food doesn't agree with me. It's the spices, I know. It's the preparation. It can be delicious, but Lord have mercy. Just not going to happen for me. So anyway, we're very quick to judge people. And that's what I'm finding. Let's let it go. And part of this journey in this community is what we talk about, is accepting each other, living in the light, living in the love, living in the compassion, the community, so that we're raising each other's vibrations up higher and higher and higher. And in this time when the world is in chaos, and it's not just here in the US, it's all over the world, people are rising up and saying, enough, enough. We're not going to be pooped on anymore. We want to raise our vibration. We want to be in the love and light, in the spirit of where we are. So that's okay, Mish. You do what you got to do, girl. We're here for you. You can listen. So brings me back to just tying up the fifth law of the universe. So it's really focusing in on, actively moving towards your purpose, your intuition, your goals. And it's easy to say, don't let somebody tell you what to do. But I would say, find your path. Find your path and accept people with their differences and move on. Gratitude, and then we're going to get into our friend Mel. So when we talk about gratitude, one of the things that Josh from Mr. Floyd's Universe was talking about in the last couple of days was really about starting your day in gratitude. And I echo that. I believe in that. I think seeing gratitude as an expression, as an appreciation for what we already have and for what we want. And it's in our cultures, it's in our traditions, religious and otherwise. Um, and I think gratitude allows us to have more compassion for each other, because I'm grateful for the person who is challenging me, is nasty to me, is condescending, because it's showing me that I can still live in my truth of love and light, because it's not about me. It's about that person, which brings us to Mel and the let them theory. See, I was going to sneak it all in there, people. And when we talk about the let them theory, some of the things that Mel has talked about really is, as we move forward, as we let people be who they are, and when they show you who they are, believe them. But it's your response, right? It's the let me part that we want to aspire to raise our vibrations in my opinion. So it's sort of towards the end of the book, Mel's talking about let them love you, right? It's how do you create adult relationships and friendships? And it talks about allowing people to care for you and support you and encourage you without resisting, right? How many times has someone said, well, do you need something? Can I help you? My first response has been and is, no, nope, I got it. Thank you. Oh, you need help with the garden? Nope, I got it. Thank you. And then I'm huffing, I'm puffing, and I'm like, shit, I could really use some help lifting this cinder block or moving this filled up raised bed or digging the hole or even just bouncing off ideas. So really, it comes down to my response, right? It's allowing, so many of us struggle with accepting love and help. And that is a response to our childhood or our wounded self, and whenever and wherever we were wounded. And Rumi said, having wounds lets the light in. And I think I've been blocking the light coming in. I think when you're hurt repeatedly or disappointed, the wound, you keep putting bandages to prevent the light to come through because the light hurts. Accepting help can sometimes hurt. Since my dad died and since it's only been 2 weeks, and my eye's been twitching. And, the energy in this world has been, I've been feeling a lot of things. And I've been sleeping really deeply. And I think I mentioned that, if not on Victor's channel, then on Mr. Floyd's or somebody's, one of the channels recently. I think it was Victor's. And I'm actually enjoying this heavy, deep sleep. What I'm finding is in the morning it's exhausting to get up. Like I'm not ready to wake up. But I'm also the kind of person that doesn't like to sleep really late. But I am late to my day. My alarm goes off at 7:45. I really want to get up at 7:45 and I'm not bouncing up because I still feel the weight of this heaviness. Part of that is sadness, but I also think I'm feeling some energetic change. I'm feeling some flutters. Don't know how else to describe it energetically. Um, but one of the things that Mel says is she encourages all of us to embrace that connection and let people show up for us, without feeling that need to control or push them away. Right. So I don't think I marked it. I didn't mark it. Shoot. Well, she has some examples within her book. And, the chapter, I think it's chapter 11, it's kind of aligning her whole core philosophy, letting go of the urge to manage other people, instead focusing on our own personal growth. Um, and talking about adult friendships, um, by allowing ourselves to be loved and supported without creating these barriers that we do. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. And I don't know if any of you really have been able to dive into the book. Um, but it's really, for me, it works. And that whole concept of choosing the love we deserve at the end of I think it's close to the end of the book. Um, it's titled "Let Them Show You Who They Are." It emphasizes, the importance of people observing each, actions rather than trying to change or fix them. Right. And that is a reflection of ourselves. The key message about the whole book is that relationships should be built on mutual respect and authenticity. We're authentic people. So instead of trying to force connections or trying to control how others behave, which never works, by the way, and each one of you would probably say that because you had a relationship, and whether it's a friend, family, lover, companion, however you want to describe it, community, it never works when you try to control other people's behaviors. So allow the truth of their actions and choosing relationships that align with the ones that are for your self-worth. And I think that's key. And that comes down to self-worth, in my opinion. So when we talk about choosing the love you deserve in a relationship, think about patterns, how you treat people. Observe actions over the words. So when we talked about it's coming to me, guys, the 4 agreements. Oh my goodness, Don Miguel Ruiz. And using your words. Also pay attention to the actions of people. How do they show up for you? And is it consistent? Do their words match their actions? Accept people as they are. And don't be so shocked and surprised when they've shown you who you are and you're disappointed. So, and that's a hard lesson, right? It is not an easy pill to swallow. When we think about, gosh, for the 100th time, I've been disappointed by this person. Maybe you can't count on them. It doesn't make them a bad person, but me, the recipient of that interaction, that disappointment, that letdown, maybe I need to find another person to allow in to help me. People have good intentions and they just can't measure up sometimes, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to pause because I'm thirsty. And also, as we talk about accepting people as they are, your behavior also has to be reflective of who you are. So if you're the kind of person that says, hey, call me when you need me, and then someone calls you on a regular basis and you're not there, I believe that's karma, right? You're going to get that back because eventually people aren't going to answer your call. So don't offer if you're not willing. It's just the truth, right? You can say, "Oh, I'm a really good person. I'm there for my friends." And then they call you and you're like, "Oh, I really don't feel like going. Oh, I don't really, really tomorrow? I can't make it. I can't make." And it's you're rejecting over and over and over. You're not someone that they can count on. So don't be surprised when you're not the person that they don't come to you anymore. They're appropriately putting you in the category of not a bad human, but not reliable for me. We have to accept that with our friends, with the people in our communities, if it's your family, and know your boundaries and honor those boundaries. That's part of what she talks about. You know, what will you tolerate in a relationship? Um, and this has been a tough one for me over my lifetime because I felt like it was my duty and my responsibility to tolerate certain behaviors. And on this journey, especially in the last couple of years, but this year specifically, um, I've been digging deep about what am I willing to tolerate? And I think really since, my heart event, um, which I can't believe how long it's been, it's that's really taught me that I don't have time for some of the petty baloney. So it doesn't mean I don't love those people. It doesn't mean that I don't want to be part of their lives, but I don't necessarily want to engage in specific traditions that it's going to end up hurting me in the end. And choose relationships that uplift you. Stop choosing people that are constantly going to disappoint you. The momentary satisfaction of that, oh my God, they really like me. I really like them. Oh my God, I hope they really like me. Screw them. They should like you. And if they don't like you and you have to work really hard for them to like you, toss. You're valued. You are worthy. You're worthy. You deserve better. So if you have friends or family or a lover or a spouse or significant, whatever you want to call it in your life, and you have to work that hard to be seen and loved, you need to turn that mirror around at yourself and really make some tough decisions because you are worthy and you are valued and you're loved and you should be. And if you're not, then that's decisions on you, not on them, because they're showing you who they are. So choose the relationships that are going to uplift you. Surround yourself with lots of people who respect you and who think you're the bee's knees. Make them healthy connections where you feel supported. Let go of, what doesn't serve you. If someone is consistently disregarding your needs or makes you feel small and insignificant, it's okay to distance yourself. Your self-worth is more important. That's my opinion, guys. So this is part of the let them theory. It's part of what I've been learning about myself, right? When we put our best foot forward, not everyone's going to gel with you, but it's kind of like music, right? You can love specific music and somebody else is like, "You like that crap?" Then that's not the group you're going to listen to that kind of music with. Doesn't make them bad people. Set your boundaries. Know your value. Remind yourself when you think about your self-worth, recognize that you deserve the respect, the care, the connection, and know your value. And you're going to have to remind yourself of that, of your strengths, your achievement. What makes you unique? Your worth isn't based on how others treat you, but on how you see yourself. And that's been a hard one for me. When people, and it was a few people, when I started to come out as a Reiki practitioner. Oh my God. Really? Teresa's really, the death of her mother made her loopy. Teresa's doing that woo-woo stuff. Teresa's putting singing bowls on her head. Nobody understood what that meant. And it's very difficult to articulate your journey when you're on it. And it took a long time for me to have pride in what I was feeling and how I was growing and changing and metamorphosizing, right? I was in that cocoon trying to become a butterfly, and it's a messy process. Set your boundaries and uphold them. So if you're not going to tolerate certain behaviors, set the boundary and make it clear that you're not going to tolerate it, and don't feel guilty about it. Surround your people with support, the supportive people that are going to cheerlead you. That's part of the reason why we're in this YouTube world with content creators that mimic or not mimic, that's not the right word, that resonate with you, that bring you something that supports your ideology, right? So that's in my opinion anyway. Okay, gonna take a breath, check the chat. Okay. So practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness and patience. Try to avoid the negative self-talk. And that's not always so easy to do. It's a practice. But I think if you tie that in with gratitude, you'll find that language will change more often. Trust your intuition. Really, if there's a relationship that's draining you, listen to your feelings. If it's time to end a relationship or put it in its proper place, do it. Practice self-compassion. I think I talked about that a little bit already. And prioritize your needs. Don't let a relationship overshadow what your goals and dreams and happiness should be. Take care of what's going to work for you. And yes, things are about, compatibility and what's the other word? When you have to take into consideration other people's goals as well. Together, you both have to find a happy medium and let go of approval seeking. And that's the most difficult one for me personally. My worth isn't tied to someone else's validation, but that has been so important to me. See me, hear me, pick me. I don't need that right now because it's not as important. This journey, it isn't your journey. When I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm not going to go, I wish that so-and-so saw me. It's going to be, shit, I should have been working on myself. Excuse me. So practice these habits. And that's part of what Mel talks about, and it's not always, easy peasy. But I think if we focus on things that we like about ourselves, what do you love about yourself every day? This could be a personality trait, right? It can be an accomplishment. Anything, focus on something that you've done really well and acknowledge that. Do that every day. Oh my God, I got out of bed today. Woohoo! Mirror affirmations. And Victor does do this during his meditations. I am worthy. I am worthy of love and respect. I deserve happiness and success. I am enough just as I am. And, that came from, I used to listen, I still do. Oh my God, is it Wayne Dyer? Somebody help me. Am I getting his name wrong? And I love him. I'm going to find him because and put him on the channel. I still follow him, even though he's no longer with us on this earth. But he's very important to me. He has this I am meditation. And it has been with me for a long time. I used it in hypnosis. I use it in different techniques when I'm working with people. It is very crucial to that inner voice of our own. So I'm going to find him. I'll put him in the notes. Jimena, hello. Thank you for being here. So you are enough. I am enough just as I am. We don't need to be something for someone else. When we're looking in that mirror, we're not seeing other people's faces. We're seeing our own. So I am worthy of love and respect. I deserve happiness and success. I am enough just as I am. Grace, welcome, welcome. So I think those kinds of affirmations are very critical to your self-worth and being secure in yourself. See me, hear me, feel me. I was going to break into song, Carmel. I was like, oh, Pinball Wizard. Yeah, I know where that came from. It's very true, right? See me, hear me, feel me, know me. I'm not a reflection of all those other people. I may be a reflection of elements of my surroundings, but it's what I own, right? Challenge your negative thoughts. Is the negative thought based on fact, fear, someone else's opinion? So really think about that when you're assessing yourself or you're feeling down. Would I say this to a friend? So if you're going, ugh, I am a fat sow, would you say that to any of your friends? Would you ever say, God, you are so ugly. You look terrible. No. I would challenge anyone in this community. Maybe there is somebody. Sassy pants, Carmel, don't you even think about saying it. But you would never speak to a friend that way. And I want you to challenge yourself by, as you go to say something negative, change that to yourself and say, I wouldn't say that to a friend. So let me change what I would say. So replace the negative self-talk with logic, with kindness, with compassion, with love. I've talked about this. Jimena has talked about this. Other people have talked about it. Journal. A journal doesn't have to be it could be a love letter to yourself. A journal could be a letter to yourself. I've talked about this before. I don't have it with me. Do I have one with me? Hold on. I think I brought it upstairs. I did. I write letters to myself and periodically will mail them to myself and not open them because it's for a later date. And it's a snapshot in time of how I'm feeling and maybe a goal I want or something that I want to accomplish. Oh, I see you, Carmel. So a journal can be it could be a song. I know some of you use the app Suno. Write a song to yourself. Journaling is about releasing what is within you. Do it every day. Challenge yourself and have gratitude. Again, I'm going to bring in the gratitude theme for those that are just joining. I am grateful for the success that I am having on my YouTube channel. I may not have it today, but I am grateful because I know it's coming. I am grateful for the people that I have met within this community that have my back. I am grateful for my brothers who are my champions now in my family that are part of my life every single day. I am grateful for this health in my body. Doesn't matter that I know I have these aches and pains and that I feel miserable every single day. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. for healing the pain in my arm. Because I'm telling you, at some point, that communication that you tell your body listens. It has energy, it has the healing properties. And I believe that. So take care of it. There's something called a self-compassion letter. I don't know if anyone's ever done this, but as I was talking a minute ago, write a letter to yourself as if you were speaking to a friend. Show yourself encouragement, support, love. When I wrote my dad's eulogy, I didn't get to read it, by the way. It wasn't the kind of setting where you could, but I did read it to my best friends. And I may read it to my brothers someday if they want to hear it. But writing that eulogy was healing for me as much as it was honoring my father. We don't always have to focus on negative things with the people in our lives or anyone that's hurt us. It's the intentionality. Did someone intend to hurt you? Did someone intend to wound you? Sometimes the answer is yes. What would you want to say? No holds bar. You got to say whatever you wanted. What would you say? Write it down. You can burn it later. Burn it on the full moon. Burn it on the new moon. Burn it. Have some water nearby before you burn anything, everybody. But do it with love and compassion. You can write a letter with kindness, even if it's a difficult letter. When someone has hurt your spirit, when someone has hurt your soul, they're usually the ones that are hurting. But we take it personally. I take it personally. Again, bringing in the 4 agreements, don't take it personally. Unless it's specific to something that you have done. Teresa, you hurt my feelings when you called me an idiot. Okay, I did that. But there's a situation again in my neighborhood with somebody who I have difficult relationship with, not a kind person. That person is showing who they are. It has nothing to do with me. I finally got it. This is the 3rd or 4th instance of him being inappropriate. And I was like, Teresa, it has nothing to do with you. Let it go. Walk away. Your father just died. You don't need to engage with this person. And I put my hands up and I just said, I'm sending you love and light, but I am not engaging. I send you with love and light, but I am not engaging. This isn't about me. If you had gotten me about 2 months ago, I probably would have wanted to send him love and light and taken a baseball bat to his head. I know, shocking. But when someone annoys you that much, at least from the teachings that I've been reading, they say it's usually something within yourself. You're seeing a reflection. And I'm not sure what this person is supposed to be teaching me or what lesson I'm supposed to be learning other than compassion. And I really thought I was a pretty compassionate person, but this one just pushes my boundaries, pushes my buttons. Spiritually, I really wanted to take a bat upside his head. Now, I'm not going to associate with this person. This person is verbally abusive. So there's nothing for me to be gained. And we're not friends. I don't like this person. This person has shown me who he is. He's shown the community who he is. But that doesn't mean that I have to engage and become part of. I can just send him with love and light and put myself outside of his purview. So much so that I'm putting up a privacy fence so that I don't have to at least see him. I might hear him, but I don't have to see him. And more importantly, he doesn't see me. Let's see. This is why boundaries are so important. Absolutely, Jimena. You can use swear words in a letter. Yes, you can. So knock yourself out, Carmel. You can say whatever you need to because this is your letter. I don't recommend sending it to the individual. This is really the therapy for yourself. And let's see. Say no without guilt. That's the other thing. So one of the other things is when you set boundaries by saying no to things that drain you. The more you respect your own time and your own energy, the more you value who you are and what's important to you. And do things that make you feel good. Come on. We can be great at people pleasers, but it's really important to do things that make you feel good. I love putting my hands in the dirt. I don't want to show you my fingernails because I still have dirt trapped underneath them from being in the garden. With the worms and the little critters and the smell of the dirt and the earth has really made me feel good. Planting vegetables, planting flowers, things that are going to give life and bring life. What does self-worth truly mean, right? It's a belief in yourself that you're valuable, that you deserve love, that you deserve respect, that you deserve happiness. Simply because you exist. It isn't based on some accomplishment or achievement or, how you look or any of that stuff. That's all secondary stuff and can end tomorrow. It's understanding your own inherent worth. You are worthy regardless of the external circumstances. It doesn't matter if you have a big house, a big car, a big bank account. You look like a model. None of that matters. Setting your boundaries without guilt. Protect your peace. You deserve it. Accept yourself fully, flaws and all. Embrace who you are. Do a Josh hug. Trust your own judgment. We often do things, even though our instinct button is flashing at us. Don't go there. Don't go there. Stop. Danger, Will Robinson. Will Robinson? Jeez Louise, I forgot it. I may be too old on that one. You guys may not know that one. Let me see. Some comments are coming through. Hold on, because I want to be respectful. Zodiac compatibility is big for me personally, per my historic data. So that's important as well. So thank you for sharing that. Let me just click it and put it up on screen. I can hear my dogs going crazy. My goodness gracious. Here it is. Okay. Did I hit it? Why is this not working today? Am I not hitting the right thing? Nope. Wrong thing. I'm pinning the message. Unpin the message. I want to put it on the screen. What's going on? Guys, am I not in the right thing? Oh, I'm not in the right thing. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right. Hold on, everybody. I'm coming. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Victor. All right. I'm coming. Sorry, guys. I'm having, there we go. So Victor said, zodiac compatibility is big. And I think a lot of people would talk about that, including me. I think knowing, and I think having those conversations with people, it helps when you're in alignment. You don't have to be exact carbon copies of each other, but I think knowing that you're simpatico is very helpful. So yes. What are you saying, Carmel? You obviously haven't heard my Dutch. The Hague is horrible territory for that. Um, the Hague is a beautiful building. I've been there. Okay, you guys are just sort of talking about yourself. Jimenez says, if you are in a place where you are not valued, change places. You don't have to change you. You shouldn't change you. Look, the only time that we need to assess whether or not we need to make a change is if our behavior is indicative of something that's not for our best and highest good. If we're being cranky pants and we're being nasty and condescending and rude, then we need to take that mirror and look at it ourselves. And it's our reflection. And you're going to get back what you give. So if you're getting crap, take a look in the mirror. How are you interacting with people? All right. So let's see. So for the most part, that's it, guys. I want to just sum up a couple of things, but the book, The Let Them Theory, I have really enjoyed. I think that there were common sense things here, but it helps us to reiterate to ourselves that we're worthy, that we are loved, that we are love, that we are good enough as we are in this being, in this body, in this space, in this time, in this moment. That this community that we are associating with, those of you that have been present, first of all, thank you so much for being here. I am truly grateful for you guys being here today. It means the world to me. And if you haven't hit the like or subscribe button, please do. It helps the algorithm. And this is one of my goals, is to spread my channel, my version of wisdom. And to allow the light in through the wounds so that I can heal, so that what's most important to each of us is that we raise each other up. And that's a Josh Groban moment. I'm surprised Carmel hasn't popped in. You raised me up. So anyway, next week is June already. So we are going to be talking about a couple of new things, but next week I'm going to put, I don't know if it's a poll or not, but there are a couple of books that I would love to talk about. And then if people are in agreement, I want to give you a couple of weeks to, thanks. I want to give you guys a couple of weeks to read the book, because then I want to do a Zoom and have a discussion. So it's just more interactive, more inclusive, and I don't have to drag it out for weeks and weeks. So it's kind of more like a book club, if you will. But some of these books that I would like to talk about are really engaging, like Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. But not everybody may jam with that. So anyway, I'm going to throw some titles out. I'm going to do a vote, I think, to see which of the 2 or 3 people like. And then what I would also like is, of course, you can join if that's directed at me. Let me see. So anyway, I also am going to be talking about a couple of new techniques for reducing anxiety, to bringing awareness and attention to yourself, called tapping. So I'm going to be talking about that in the next couple of weeks. Really, continue the focus on gratitude, on appreciation for ourselves, to getting our power back and releasing those things that don't belong to us anymore. I think as we're great. I love, I really would love that, Jimena. So thank you. And after this video, put in the comments if there's books that you have felt that you would love to have a discussion about. Now, I'm not talking about murder mysteries. These are really things that are going to raise our vibration for discussion. I'm a huge fan of books and I'm a huge fan of fiction, but that's for a different book club in this particular time. If there's a lot of popularity for it, I'll do it, and I'd love to do it every Sunday. But anyway, so guys, I am truly grateful and feel truly blessed that you have spent this time with me today. Truly. As always, I send you all with love, with light, with healing, with compassion, with joy, sprinkled with love, giggles, laughter. You are truly a blessing to me. So until next time, may you all be blessed. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
One day, on a cold January day, life changed in so many ways at once. As the day begun, I lived one life. As the day ended, I had begun anew, reborn with a new life, a new mission, reborn with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love.